Hey guys, this is Mr. Newtsel. I'm going to walk you through how to do the Walter Alverez and the scientific method assignment. If you're in my class as a hybrid learner, we'll do that in class together. If you're a virtual learner, you're going to be doing it at home. So it's this first assignment. It's called Scientific Method Flowchart. Okay. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be reading an article. The article is this part down here. And as we read this article, we're going to be looking for any time that the scientist, Walter Alverez, is doing science. As far as doing science, that could be making observations, sharing data and ideas, doing tests to gather data and getting expected results, or inspired revised results. Or it might be having discussion with different colleagues or building knowledge. But any of these things in the complex flowchart, those are all examples of doing science. So to do this, we have to open the article. And so I'm going to open up into a new window, and I'm going to open it with Cami. I want to open it with Cami annotation. If you don't have this connected app, you can get it by clicking on this blue dot, which you should have in your extensions that all Perry students have. So I'm going to annotate it with Cami. And the nice thing about Cami is I'm able to go and highlight different parts of the text. Okay, so markup. So the markup tools, I have a bunch of different highlighters here that I can use. So as I read the article, anytime it sounds like Alvarez is doing science, I'm going to highlight that. So I read this first paragraph. It's just kind of an introduction paragraph, and then it starts off, Alvarez was in Italy in the 1970s with other scientists looking for patterns in layers of the rocks to learn about the Earth's history. That's another intro. He observed a strange pattern. Right there, that sounds like making observations. So I'm going to highlight that. And then it says he saw a layer of clay and dated it. That's doing some testing. So I'm going to choose a different color and say the second thing he did was he took some data. Okay, and it tells what happens. Says the clay was 65 million years old. This was the boundary between the Cretaceous and Tertiary time periods, the KT boundary. Below that he saw lots of fossils, but above it he didn't find them. And he wondered. Wondering, that's questioning. That's another various form of science. So I'm going to highlight that. Another color. I'm going to delete this. Highlight that in a different color. This is the third time he's doing science. He wondered, and he starts to ask questions. And then we go on to the next paragraph. Alvarez wanted to find out if the clay layer formed quickly or over a long period of time. He wanted to know how long it took. So he wonders, how can he measure it? He asks his father, a physicist, for help. So he's doing science again. He's asking another scientist for help. So this is an example of marking up the document, and all I'm doing is marking up every time he gets a new thing of science. Now, what we're going to do, once we get the whole story marked up, and it's only a page and a half, or 2 pages, and then there's a little glossary on it. Afterwards, we're going to go to map out the scientific method. Okay, so this is the scientific method, and all we're going to do is we're going to start off going through what are the parts of the story that we underlined. So the first thing I said is he observed a strange pattern. That would be making an observation. So the first thing he did was made an observation. And then he collected some data on it. He saw a layer of clay and dated it. So he took some data. So that's gathering data, and he expected something to happen. And then after he took the data, he started to wonder. So he started to ask questions. So he went from making observations to collecting data to starting to ask questions. And then it says, the article says he went and asked his dad, which is another scientist. So this is now going into community analysis and feedback. He has some discussion with colleagues. And so he starts to go through the scientific method, and what we're doing on this page is we're laying out the path in which he goes. And you're going to do this through the whole article. You're probably going to end up with anywhere from 15 to 30 steps of him doing science. And what I care about is I want to see what does this map look like at the end. All of us are going to have slightly different answers. We should have some patterns similar, but you're going to find that there's arrows going all over the place as he goes into different things. Once you're done with this, you can take a picture, a screenshot of it, and you're going to be turning that in. So this is how to do the scientific method flowchart. You're going to upload both the picture, and I'd like you to upload your article that you went through and highlighted. So I would like you to save the drive, or save the document, and upload the Cami document as well. And that's what we're working on for this assignment.